And welcome back. You're listening to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Matt Del Vecchio. Did you know that this coming Thursday, November 16th, it is Children's Grief Awareness Day? And to tell us more, I have in studio with me someone that many of our Life Unrehearsed listeners know very well, Corrie Sirota. Corrie is the clinical director of Myra's Kids Foundation. Corrie, welcome back to Life Unrehearsed.
It's so fun to be back here, Matt. Home.
A lot of people are saying, oh, I remember that voice. Well, we miss you, Corrie, for sure. And look at you, your regular chair. You got the headphones on, and so glad to have you back in studio, Corrie. So let's start with, what is Myra's Kids Foundation?
So that's a great question and very easy for me to answer. It is a not-for-profit foundation that is set up to help bereaved children and their families. We do programs. Our signature program is a summer camp for children, a weekend-long program, but we've expanded to do a whole host of other programs throughout the year that are all designed to help navigate the grief process for children. I'm going to say ages 6 to 17, but it's for families, and we're hoping to expand that service as well, and all our services are free.
Just incredible, the work that you've done, a little engine that could. You know how you've come through the years. We have to give kudos and a shout out to John Ryder behind Myra's Kids Foundation. John's been on the show before, and boy oh boy, the two of you and your team have really grown nicely, offering just tremendous services to families in need. And so, what's happening in the month of November, Corrie?
Month of November is Children's Grief Awareness Month, which most people don't necessarily know. So hopefully now you'll recognize it and know that this is a month for us to put the topic of children's grief on the community agenda, because they are often the forgotten grievers, and it's really important that we give these children, who are 1 in 14 children, will lose a parent or sibling caregiver by the time they are 18.
You're talking with Corrie Sirota here on Life Unrehearsed. It is Children's Grief Awareness Day on the 16th. And what is the goal of the programs here?
Well, the idea of recognizing and talking about children's grief is really to address the unaddressed, call it the elephant in the room or what have you, address the childhood grief and trauma that children face when they experience the death of a special person in their lives. And so it's to help them feel less isolated, less alone, and to recognize that there are other children who are struggling and they can connect and associate with, offering them a safe place and space to do that.
Like that, the safe place and space, because sometimes I'm sure they must feel like on an island on their own. And then you see it in your camps and all the programs you're doing, how they open up and
Absolutely.
how they start feeling comfortable. And that also helps the family members as well, knowing that their child or grandchildren is in good hands, right? There are so many different avenues, different programs, resources that you offer. First of all, I do want to talk about this Thursday,
right.
And it's the 16th, and so what's going on that specific day?
So all over North America, quite frankly, communities are recognizing Children's Grief Awareness Day by the CN Tower lighting up and Niagara Falls lighting up. They light up in blue because that's the color to recognize children's grief awareness. So in Montreal, we'll have the Olympic Stadium lit up in blue, but we'll also have the Ferris wheel in the old port lit up in blue. But not only that, we'll have the kids from our camps and our programs riding the Ferris wheel on that day. They'll come. So please come out and watch all the children and the families partake in that activity. And then we will have another activity indoors, because it's November, to recognize and honor the memory of their special people. So that will be happening on that day. We're asking people to wear blue as a sign of recognizing Children's Grief Awareness Day. We wear butterflies. We have butterfly pins that we're giving out at schools, at dental offices, at different places that anyone who wants them, we're happy to supply them with those butterfly pins so they can start the conversations about children's grief. And this is it's a magical program.
Magical program indeed, and really special. Like you say, national and Olympic Stadium Ferris wheel. This is very well recognized. Parliamentarians right across the country, right, talking about it as well. So is there a time frame at the Ferris wheel where people could show up and
Sure,
offer
I would
support?
say it's in the evening because that's when you'll see it lit up best. We're inviting the community to come out at around 7 o'clock. They can come out and see it, and you can pass by it any time the Olympic Stadium and take some pictures. Come say hello, get a pin. We would love it. We're also having a day of giving on November the 16th. So we are asking people, any donation, small or large, because all our programs are free to the community. We would love some support in that respect. This event is being sponsored by the Ronnie's Joy Foundation. The Le Grand Rue de Montréal is also helping out. And so we hope that on November 16th in particular, you can go onto the Myra's Kids website and make a donation just in honor of and in support of this program.
Wonderful. Talking with Corrie Sirota here on Life Unrehearsed. Corrie's the clinical director of Myra's Kids Foundation. We're talking about not just this wonderful awareness day on the 16th, but year-round you could support. So if people do want to get involved, Corrie, what can they do?
So we're asking whether it's that day, this month, or anytime, we want to raise awareness. We want to educate people about grieving children. We want to offer and equip parents, caregivers, guardians, teachers, you name it, to how to support these children during this experience so that they never feel alone. And we also want to find ways and create ways of honoring the memory of the person who died. And that's never too late, and you're never too old to want to do that. So we really are here to help people, because if you look on our website, myraskids.ca, there's a multitude of programs that we are creating, and we're hoping to create even more with the donations that come in. We're ideally, you'll hear it here first, we're hoping to do a family camp.
That is amazing. And you talk about camp, and I remember years ago when we'd be in this very studio, Corrie, and you're talking about just trying to scrape some funds to get a couple kids to camp, and now you're doing so many other events, and all in the spirit of helping children and their families. And so really good on you. So let's just repeat that website if people want to find out more about Myra's Kids Foundation.
www.myraskids.ca, myraskids.ca. Lots of really unique and special programs that are available, all free, for families who are bereaved. So please, registration is right now for summer 2024.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And typically at a summer camp, you're putting how many kids through that?
Well, we hope last summer we brought up about 52. We're hoping to it's run primarily by volunteers. So we're hoping to bring up 60, 65. So I'll take as many kids as want to come up, and we have our beautiful dream team, as I call them, of volunteers. One who's in the here right now, Jody Margulies, who we couldn't do it without our volunteers.
Yeah, and I'm glad you got a shout out for Jody as well. Jody does such wonderful work, as all the volunteers do, Corrie. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. So good to see you. You're looking great with that wonderful smile, and I wish you continued success.
Thanks so much, Matt, for having us.
All right. That's Corrie Sirota, Clinical Director of Myra's Kids Foundation. And of course, you know that voice is Corrie, who was my co-host here on Life Unrehearsed for about 5 years. Next week on Life Unrehearsed, I'm going to have the best-selling author and scientist extraordinaire, Jay Ingram, who published a fascinating book called The Future of Us, How Cutting-Edge Science and Technology Will Revolutionize Every Aspect of Our Lives. Just an incredible book about how we're going to live, where we're going to live, what we're even going to look like. And a neuroscientist will be joining me as well, talking about sleep. Personally, I think sleep is overrated. Well, I'm going to get his opinion on what we do when we sleep and its effect on the brain. And also, November happens to be National Diabetes Month. So if you or someone that has type 1 diabetes, you're going to want to be listening in. And thank you all for tuning in to Life Unrehearsed. As a reminder, for all your inquiries or assistance with life transitions, elder care planning, and the senior living industry, it'd be my pleasure to help. You can find out more if you look up Lianas Senior Transition Support. That's Lianas, Lianas, Senior Transition Support. Many thanks to our technical producer, Dario. Great job today. You can listen to Life Unrehearsed here on CJD 800 every Sunday at 4 p.m.